Good morning and welcome to Coloma News Network. I'm Temple Justice. We've received lots of tweets and emails concerning our reporting on this rabbi from Nazareth and his preposterous claims that his followers have been making recently that he has come back to life after his deserved execution and has given them magical powers. Our reporter, Willie Feinlove, has been embedded with these crazy people for several weeks now and has exposed their misguided attempts to fool the public into believing their wild ramblings. In his last report, Willie shed light on their wild claims that God no longer expects us to follow the dietary law, and that you all only would lead to more things that we could throw the law out altogether. If that wasn't enough, they also were pushing this even crazier idea that God does not love us chosen people more than anyone else. But then, what sense can you really expect from a bunch of uneducated fishermen and tax-collecting traders? Certainly no one with half a brain would believe any of this wild talk. I understand that Willie has contacted us with some breaking news. Let's go to him now. Willie.
Thank you, Temple. I'm here in Macedonia with Saul of Tarsus.
Saul, the Pharisee? Wow, he's hunting down Jesus' followers all the way in Greece?
Well, not exactly, Temple.
What do you mean, not exactly? What else would Paul be doing? After all, he sure cleansed the crazies out of Jerusalem, starting with that Stephen character. Last I heard, he's headed up to Damascus to root out the Jesus followers there and have them executed too.
Well, he had a bit of a change of heart on his way to Damascus.
What are you talking about, Willie? Saul had no heart.
well, as he tells it, the risen Jesus met him on the road and asked Saul why he was persecuting him. Scared him half to death. Fell right off his donkey. Also made him blind. His soldiers took him out of Damascus, and one of the Jesus followers came and prayed over him, and his sight was restored. And since then, he's been telling everyone about Jesus.
But Saul is an educated man. He's a Pharisee, for God's sake. Surely he can't believe all this drivel about the law.
Well, actually, Temple, he's really kind of been one of the loudest voices for doing away with the law altogether. Says that Jesus is the fulfillment of the law, and that the only law we need is to love God and love each other and treat each other how we'd like to be treated.
Impossible. Paul would never say anything like that, even remotely like that. His whole life has been dedicated to the law and making sure that everyone obeyed it.
Yes, and now his whole life is dedicated to Jesus and sharing the love of God for all people. By the way, he doesn't go by Saul anymore. He changed his name to Paul.
Well, that's just crazy. You must be mistaken. Paul can't be the same as Saul.
Well, you're kind of right, Temple. Saul and Paul are the same man, but Paul isn't the same person as Saul was.
Willie, you're starting to talk in riddles.
Well, he's changed, Temple. Did a 180. The Saul who hunted down Jesus' followers and executed them is now Paul, who's a follower of Jesus himself and is proclaiming the good news of God's love that Jesus taught.
Well, that just can't be. Saul or Paul, or whatever you call him, wouldn't be that foolish. Just look where we are. That proves it. Everyone knows it's foolhardy to even try to convince those Greeks of anything. I'm sure they've ridiculed and run off this imposter, whoever he is.
Well, actually, no, Temple. See, Paul had a dream that someone from Macedonia had called him to come and help, that they had heard about Jesus, but they didn't really know what was true and what wasn't. And so we all got on a ship, several of us, and we made our way across the Aegean, and you know, a few stops along the way, as you can imagine, and we went into the old port of New City there, and we walked to Philippi, which, as you know, is a Roman town, but there in Macedonia, and we were talking with people and telling them about Jesus, and they were very open to hear what we had to say. And yes, and I say we, because I've been kind of one of those talking about it too, Temple. I know that I'm just supposed to be a reporter, but well, I just can't help myself. And anyway, we ended up here by this river, and where several of women were washing things, and one of those, whose name is Lydia, and she's quite well-to-do actually. She's trades fine garments, and we talked with her, and she this change came upon her, and she invited us all. We're all going to her house when we're down here, because she wants to start having people come there to talk about Jesus and find out more about his love, and they're kind of starting to call that a church, a diaconus, but a gathering of people who want to hear more about Jesus. So yeah, we're heading over to her house and talking about Jesus some more with a few of her friends.
Willie, we've been friends for a long time. People are starting to talk. They think you've lost your perspective. I keep telling them you're just being a good reporter, but it seemed to think that you're starting to become a follower of Jesus yourself.
Well, more than becoming, Temple, I am a believer. In fact, I'm a follower. Spend some time with the other followers and you can't help but join in.
So they brainwashed you. Listen, I've already talked to the establishment, and they will understand. We'll get you out of there, Willie. A couple of weeks R&R will do you a wonder.
Thanks for your concern, Temple, but I don't need rescuing. Nobody's pressured me to think any certain way or do any certain thing. They've just shown me and everyone else love and care and concern. Thanks, Temple, but I'm fine. I'm more fine than I've ever been.
No, you're not, Willie. We will come and get you. We will send a team to come.
No need, Temple. I won't be here for long anyway. Paul will be heading off to another city in a couple of days, and I'll be going with him.
But listen, Willie, management is cutting you off. You are no longer assigned to this story. You don't have to keep traveling with these nutcases.
Well, sorry, Temple, but well, they aren't as crazy as we thought, and I am going with them as a follower, and not as a reporter. Oh, I might take a few notes here and there. Maybe I'll even change my name, just so people know I've changed. I don't know, maybe Luke or something.
No, Willie. Come back. Don't give up everything you have to follow some dead rabbi.
That's the point, Temple. He isn't dead. He's very much alive. And Temple.
Yes, Willie?
He says he loves you too.
Well, this is Temple Justice, and you've been watching the Coloma News Network. As you know, here at CNN, when news breaks, we fix it. Thank you for watching.